Hey guys, it's Team AlphaOmega. We're here to talk to you guys about Gladiator Beasts and how they'll affect the meta. I personally think they're an amazing deck type, and with D-Fisher, as the version I run, it can handle the meta extremely easily. I mean, with Frog Synchro out there, Tengu everywhere, including the Tengu Plant Synchro and just all that.
Junk and debris.
You can cut all those guys out, and it just simplifies the game. I mean, spamming out different cards to take care of situations while they're never able to get them back. It's just an amazing type. And on top of that, Chariot and everything else, it's too good to pass up.
Yeah, and I personally like the counter trap counter glads. There are so many counter traps you can run just to abuse the glads with their control, because they control everything. Like, your opponent has a monster, they are in a sense like Naturias, the original Naturias. Because with counter traps you can play Dark Bribe, Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, Seven Tools, even
the Chariot.
even Chariot is a counter trap, and you can, if you really want to, you can go all out and play Bountiful Artemis, though I personally wouldn't like to. But they have just such a controlling aspect that all these traps just allow you to do so much, and the deck usually only plays like 14, 15 monsters.
Yeah. At
So-
most.
Yeah, so it's really amazing with all the counter traps.
That's just how they run. It's like, if you can keep out that one monster on the field, you can just keep switching it out for another monster, for another monster, for another monster every turn, destroying something on the field or getting back a card that you used up. I mean, a quest is probably just the best of all of them on its own, just because you can just bring it out every other turn. Or even every turn, if you get other glads, you can just summon it, get back your Chariot, set it, and you can use that to stop any effect. This meta is driven on effects monsters. So just being able to destroy and negate any effects monster that your opponent uses, and like, even if they try to like Veil or something to stop you from tagging out, you can Chariot that Veiler, go through your attack, go across, get back your Chariot, and they lost their Veiler, you lost nothing. It's stupid. And since you run so few monsters, like, there's so much space in the deck that's just variable. Like, you run, like, maybe, like, 10 Gladiator Beast monsters. Always, you want to run those 3 Proving Ground, that way you can always get out whichever monster you need for the situation. You have something on the field you need to destroy stuff, you can search Bestiari and contact Gazaris. Yes. You can just go Lucari for a beater, and it lets you always have a monster to put back into to just tag back in and get your advantage. And then you have, just Proving Grounds, Chariots, and then you have half your deck, 20, 25 cards that you can just, you can make those almost anything. There's so many ways that the deck can go, as long as you can keep your monsters safe. So it's just, how do you want to keep them safe and disrupt your opponent's plans?
Mm-hmm. The biggest thing is, it's going to be mostly traps. That's how it always has been. That's how it always going to be. And, I mean, triple traps done, triple 7 tools, and you have a safe play. You're able to tag out freely, get whatever you need, and it's all about simplification. Xeris, the contact fusion with Bestiari, an amazing fusion. You know what? He's better than some synchros. Most synchros, actually, I believe.
He was like a synchro before there were synchros.
I mean, he contacts. I mean, you're gonna go Beastie to pop 1, or Darius into Beastie back. So you get a +1, then you get a pop 2. So he becomes a +3 at that point. You can tag out with them into 2 other ones. So it's all about simplification. That's what the deck is based around. I mean, like you said, Chariot, Proving Ground. Proving Ground is your searcher. You have so much advantage. You can grab whatever you need for the situation. I mean, Darius allows so many things, especially with Esiadari out right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a 25 beater, able to kill Stardust, able to run over anything right now, except for Scrap Dragon, you know. Yeah. But he just gets around.
You have other answers to Scrap Dragon, so.
I mean, Chariot, definitely a quest being able to grab it back, and constantly reuse it. I mean, it's a recycling deck. I mean, Darius is your little Avarice. A quest allows you to grab whatever you need. He's like your little Mask of Darkness, pretty much, with a little bit of Magician of Faith. It's like a baby right there. I mean,
yeah, and in the deck you have all these options. So you have these Gladiator Beasts. It's just like maybe 10 or 11 Gladiator Beasts that you run.
Yeah.
And then you have all this space for tech cards. You can play, like in the top Gladiator Beast deck that usually top 16, you'll find Grand Mole, Gale, possibly Tiger King,
Tiger Wing.
King Tiger Wonga,
Yeah,
he's
King
cool.
he's good.
You see a lot of Thunder King lately.
Yeah, a lot of Thunder King's card's amazing. Like, it stops any of your opponents searching, no dualities, no Sangins, no nothing, and negates a special summon. And it's a 19 beater. The deck always needs that extra oomph. The extra, like, high attacker that you can normal summon first turn and just say go. With, like, 4 or 5 back row. But, yeah. And in the D-Fissure build, you can play Iados, which is just a free 25 beat stick that you special summon for no reason. And it just... The deck can tech in so many different cards, it's not even funny.
Like, yeah, and you can pack in a lot of other special summon hate type stuff too. Like obviously you're gonna be running your warnings, your judgment. Bottomless is great because you just need. If you can keep your opponent's big monsters off the field, then they won't get rid of your smaller monsters. You can keep tagging, keep getting more pluses off of that. You can run Royal Oppression because you're probably going to be wanting that trap stun, keep your plays safe, let you go that quick Gazaris for just an uninterrupted +2 right there. So you can run Oppression safely, stop any of your opponent's summons, and then when you need it, just trap stun, and then you can feel free to tag, destroy more stuff. Another card, like, really underrated that Gladiator Beasts can use a lot better than a lot of other decks would be Summon Limit. Like, every top deck right now is summoning like 3-4 times a turn at least. Summon Limit, they can summon out their Synchro materials, but they'll never get to Synchro. So then you can just kill them off next turn with your GBs. You can get your one normal summon, and you can still tag with something. Or again, if you need to do those extra summons, just trap stun. You're fine, and yeah, you can go on off and explode. Just take out everything.
Yeah. I mean, and then back to Chariot, because I believe that's the star card besides Bestiary.
Definitely,
so good.
Definitely.
I mean,
negates
as long as you
anything.
have a GB, you pretty much have game. Right now, Hyper Librarian getting released. The game has changed so much. I mean, kill the Hyper Librarian. They're done. Yeah, they can get a formula. They're done. They're not going to be drawing 19 cards a turn.
They try to draw one. His effects, like, a lot of people think it's a continuous effect, kind of like Bountiful Artemis. No. His effect activates when the monster is summoned. So you can go and chain that Chariot and take it out.
And, I mean, even on top of that, I mean, let them keep the formula. That's fine. You're going to tag out on it anyway. You're going to destroy it. It doesn't matter. Chariot, in general, stops Valor. So they can't do anything to you. It's up to Black Rose to get out of your little lock once you accomplish it. I mean, and Geyseris, the ability to consistently blow up 2 cards almost every turn, because you're going to tag in, you're going to tag out, you're going to tag in, you're going to tag... Contact. That's all it's about. I mean, and then Herc, once late game, once you gain control, you have game. Yeah. There is no way out of it.
Negates anything.
And then, I mean, D-Prisons right now, bottomless compulsory. I mean...
yes, compulsory.
Yeah, everything's so good.
And then look at the X-Seeds right now.
Yeah.
Options. Steel Storm Roach is coming out.
Yeah, Roach comes out in next month.
Nice.
You'll be able to stop special summons. Right now we have Utopia, actually. Utopia stops battle, so they won't be able to kill Murmillo.
You have out your Murmillo, you get out, like, Murmillo and 2 level 4s. Exceed those into your, into Utopia. They can't attack over that Murmillo now. You can stop the attack. Murmillo is safe to hit one of their defense monsters, or you attack with Utopia and hit him directly. You get another tag. And if you do that, you can go and just go Darius, bring back one of those materials you just sent to the graveyard, and then you can go into another Utopia, go Esadari. If you brought back Bestiary, that's Gazaris for 2 more cards to destroy.
Well, I mean, even on top of that, I mean, we gotta look at just the priority rule possibly changing. Soon.
With the priority rule, that they've pretty much confirmed that that's changing for TCG before Worlds. So.
Yeah. And then, I mean, with Compulse and Bottomless being useful, warning isn't it a problem?
No, you don't have to spend like $45. $100.
$100.
You don't have to spend $100 a warning on this deck. So the deck ridiculously goes down in price. It's just gonna be so good. You just play Bottomless. Okay, it's been reprinted, what, 7-8 times.
7,000-8,000 times.
Or the Pulse that got another 10 besides that one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many outs to the meta right now with Gladiator Beast. In all honesty,
You could see it topping after the priority rule almost every event.
I mean, like, once the priority rules changed, like, they don't care about it. Like, only card that would be used in your average GB deck that would actually get affected by that is Gale. But
Well, Bestiary and Mermillo wouldn't get their effect on priority to destroy.
yes, they would. It's a trigger when it's summoned.
It is.
Yes.
That's
So, I mean,
awesome.
the Gladiator Beasts definitely have potential. The only problem with the deck, and everybody needs to hear this, I mean, everybody tells you how great things are, but they got to be able to tell you how bad some things are. And Oppression wrecks it. That's why we play Trapstone. That's why we play, things along those lines.
Decree wrecks it.
I mean,
Decree
gets us
Decree.
half the deck gone.
Decree, well, there's several things like, a lot of people think, oh, you get this out, GBs lose. Main things are Decree, Goes in Match, Rivalry of Warlords. Like, those are
true.
Decree is seeing some play, not too much, but it's seeing some play. And Goes in Match and Rivalry of Warlords, they're in like everyone's side deck. If you aren't playing Tengu Synchro, it's in your deck.
Yeah.
I mean, even on top of that, you're looking at being able to tag in a bestie every single turn. I mean, and like even being able to just constantly bestie someone to death. I mean,
Exactly.
you're tagging in and out. Goes in Match and Rivalry.
Those
cannot
cards
hit
don't
that.
touch you.
Yeah.
And then,
Like,
Another
although thing a lot of people need to know with Rivalry and Goes in Match is like when you tag out, you a lot of people think it's kind of like a tribute summon. You can't tag to a different type or different attribute. In reality, the way it works is as long as you have the monster of the right type or attribute in your deck somewhere to tag in, you can. Yeah, you just need that there so you can activate the tag effect, and then you can tag whatever monster you want, as long as it doesn't conflict with whatever else is on the field. So, like, if you need to go into Bestiary to destroy that, you attack with Lucari, you can just be like, yeah, there's a Darius in my deck, so I can tag, and then Bestiary destroys it, and problem solved.
Yeah. Another problem with the deck is misplaying.
Oh,
so many people misplay with this deck, it's not even funny, and they lose because of it. They'll think, oh, the deck, it has answers to everything. If you don't play it correctly, you will lose.
Yes.
It's quite a difficult deck to play.
even on top of that, I mean, you're looking at half the decks right now. I mean, I don't see a lot of bottomless everywhere. I see warnings everywhere, and they will hit the bestie. I mean, the best. It's the thing that's going to hurt them the most, and just being able to reloop that through there. But if it's removed from play with like a D prison or anything like that, you have to play it correctly. You have to know when is a good time to push and when is not a good time to push. I see a lot of players now. I mean, with Tengu Synchro and things like that, you don't have to worry about it. You just attack and it's good. You're good to go.
There's usually a token on the field. That's a big thing. There's always tokens. There's always like that spare monster that wasn't used for the synchro sitting there in defense mode. GBs love that. Anything that they can get a free attack on to tag out, that's free advantage for them.
And then we gotta look at Lance. I mean, it's $20, $15, $20 right now. I mean, it's definitely something that should be thought of when putting in the deck. It's offensive and defensive. It allows you to jump around that bottomless, jump around that deep prison, things that really hurt us.
At the same time, they try to run over your thing with a bigger monster. You can just shrink them down, and you just plussed off killing their monster, and you get to tag for another plus.
And speaking of shrink, if you don't have the money for Lances,
you
can play shrink. I mean, it does the same thing minus the.
For a lot of situations, it's actually better. For like you're a pest versus like a Stardust or something. The 800 from Lance, that's not going to be enough. But Shrink can take down Stardust and Shien's. Like those two cards are big problems for GBs. So if you can get it so that you can shrink one of them, you can run it over.
That's why Equesta Dario is so good, because it rams into Shian and Stardust.
Matches up.
We don't really have a bad matchup with the Glads either. It's really player versus player at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, practice with them. Check out some of our decks so we can be showing you a little later on today.
Yeah.
And I mean, definitely get in there, try them out. It's not an expensive deck. You're looking at $50 to $60
max,
roughly
for the whole deck. Yeah.
For the whole deck minus
minus warnings. Like warnings.
Like, you don't have
maybe
to
Thunder Kings and Lance. Those are the only real expensive cards. Like,
but those aren't necessary.
Yeah, they aren't needed. Like, there's so many ways that you can build the deck that doesn't use those. It'll still be just as good.
So go ahead and check it out. I mean, do your research, look it up, and I mean, get better at this game. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you next time.
Yep.
Peace.